welcome to my channel. My name is Kim and I am She from shemadeknits. Today's video is the 6th video in my knitting podcast series. Today I want to go over some updates that I have for my current whips, my works in progress. I also have a few finished objects to show you, and I have a few new plans for future projects that I would like to share. If you're new here, then hi, it's nice to meet you. I am a knitter and crocheter who just cannot stop working on multiple projects at a time. I enjoy creating new patterns and making video tutorials for said patterns, and I create weekly videos like this where I talk about updates, plans, finished pieces, everything knit and crochet related. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then I would love for you to subscribe. So with all of that having been said, let's get started. So we're going to start off with updates, so anything that I have worked on in the past week and how much progress I've made. The first piece that I want to talk about is a piece that I have been talking about in every single video since I started this series. So I know that we're going into spring and summer, but I do still have a sweater in my whips pile that I really want to finish regardless of the season. I'm almost completely done this sweater. All I have to do now is weave in the ends and finish the second sleeve. Yes, I am still on this second sleeve. And even though last week I wasn't super far into it, this week I'm not that much further, honestly. But I still did do a few rounds, so technically I did work on it. So this is how far I've gotten. I really love the 2x2 knit rib stitch. I think it is just so pretty. So here we go. Like I said, just a little bit further than I was last week. I'm at the elbow, so I'm definitely more than halfway. So once I get to about this point here, I'll be able to start my decreases. That way I can get the angle that I need to be able to attach it to the sweater. I am committed to finishing it regardless of the season, but it is hard to keep the motivation going. As much as I do love the 2x2 rib knit stitch, it can be a bit tedious and I get bored of it easily, which really sucks because most of the pieces that I do end up loving are the more repetitive, boring stitches. So it kind of sucks, but I know that when I am done with this, it is going to end up being one of my favorite pieces. Definitely going to continue, going to try to summon the motivation and just do it. But don't be surprised if, by week 10, I'm still working on it. So that's it for the update on the black sweater. Next up, I want to talk about the brown 3x3 rib t-shirt that I'm making. So I'll just put up a photo to jog your memory. This is what I had as of last week. And while talking about it last week, I mentioned how I'm thinking of dropping some of the purl stitches, either 1 or 3 in each section, so that I can have the shirt fit a little bit looser and the size be a little bit larger. So I did complete the front panel or back panel. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make it still, but I completed one of the panels and I did drop all of the stitches. And at first I absolutely hated it. But then I decided to drop the rest of the stitches around the entire top, even though no, I had not completed the second panel. I only had it up until, I guess, just below the armpits. So I dropped all of those because I just needed to see what it was gonna look like. And then I had a moment where I was like, oh, maybe I'll make it into a halter top, and I kind of did a bit of a try-on. I'm not going to show the try-on just because it's hard to see the vision that I have for it at this very point. So I'm not going to show the try-on, but I will try to explain it to you. So, but just before I show it, I do want to say that I am still working on that second panel. So yes, I did drop all of those stitches. So to be able to continue it, obviously I need to have those purl stitches back, right? I didn't want to have to pick them all up again. And so what I ended up doing is all of the sections of knit stitches are still there. So I picked those up And then for my first row across, I knit all of my knit stitches as normal. And in the sections where I had dropped the purl stitches, I casted on 3 new stitches. And then the second row that I did my knit stitches and purl stitches as normal. So the continuation of the second panel does look a bit funny because it is all knit and purls together, and they're not dropped, but I'm just gonna drop them later on, and trust me, it makes sense and it will come out the way I want it to. It's just a little bit hard to explain and describe when showing it, but anyway, I am just going to stop talking and show you the piece. This is definitely a trust the process kind of piece, so please don't judge me. So this is it as of right now. Here is the top of it. I did end up doing a few rows. I think it was like three rows at the top, just so that way I have some way to attach it, and that way I was able to cast off easily. So there you go. And I am gonna like fix these parts and like put them back in place once I seam everything together and all of that, so it's not gonna look as stretched out. It will make sense when I'm done. But anyway, so that's the top going all the way down to the bottom. So let's just ignore this back part. Yeah, so that is the front of it. So if I hold it sideways, it is definitely a lot bigger. So I was definitely right when I said dropping stitches would make it a bit larger. And now to show you the other side. So like I said, I did drop all of the stitches, and now I'm continuing. So I'm just trying to get up to the same length as this panel, and then I will drop the rest of these stitches and then do those 3 rows of knit stitches, and then I will attach them. So it's definitely looking a little odd right now, but like I said, I am trusting the process. And when I tried it on, honestly, like the fit was actually really cool. And if I hadn't tried it on at that point, I would have probably taken it apart because I just really wasn't into it. I was like, what the heck is this mess, you know? I just really wasn't feeling it. But once I tried it on and I kind of saw how the fit was and how it was flowy, and it was looking less messy and more like a distressed top, you know, like it was intentional, supposed to be like that, and yeah, just less messy, I started to really enjoy it. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't want to take it apart yet. I want to try to finish it and trust the process. So that's everything that I had to say for the 3x3 rib knit t-shirt. So now I have 2 more pieces that I want to show you that are in my whip pile, and they are actually market prep items, so they won't be for me as much as I definitely want to keep them. So currently I'm working on a couple of knit scrunchies. Sorry for the shaky hands. This one's a little bit different. The way I've done the stitches, it almost makes it look like it's like wrapping around. Like it doesn't exactly look like a cable, but it looks like the stitches are like leaning a certain way and like they're wrapping around as they go, almost like a twisted ribbon or something like that. I think that it looks really cool. I am really excited to see how it turns out. I think it looks really pretty. I'm doing 4 rounds of 2x2 rib knit, and then I'm moving the placement of my stitches. So I'm just moving it over by 1. So then what I'm doing is I have a knit knit purl purl, and on the next round I'm doing a purl on top of the first knit, a knit on top of the second knit, a knit on top of the first purl, and a purl on top of the second purl. I hope that makes sense. I'll try to do like a little diagram, like a little visual, just to help understand. And I just keep moving that over every 4 rounds, and that's how I'm getting this design. But yeah, all of that to say, I am making a little knit tube for a knit scrunchie. Once I'm at the length that I want it to be, I'll cast off and then I'll turn it inside out, wrap the hair elastic around, sandwich it, and seam up the sides. Yeah, so really cute new stitch pattern that I'm working on. I don't know if this is already a thing, and if it is, what the name of it is, but if you do, let me know. I would love to know. I just started playing around and this is what I came up with. I also have one tube already made. I just haven't seamed it into a scrunchie yet. So here it is. It's just your regular 2x2 rib knit. And I'm making these two on 4mm circular needles. And the cord length is 16 inches. It's just perfect. And the number of stitches, so the full 16 inches, I'm just filling that up with stitches, and however many I have is what I have. This is a little, very general idea of what it's gonna look like once it's seamed together with the elastic inside. I think it's really pretty. This one is made from 100% merino wool by Cascade. If I can find the exact yarn, I will put it here and I will place the link down below. I know it is for sure 100% Cascade yarns. I'm just not 100% sure of the, I guess, collection that this one is part of. It's really soft, really squishy, really, really nice. This yarn right here is by Fave Socks yarn. It's 50 grams, so 200 meters. And the yarn is 75% washable wool and 25% nylon. So this is the tag that I have from it. I'll put an actual clip so that you can properly see it. And it is a super fine weight yarn. So it is a weight 1. And this yarn I found at one of my local Rossi stores, which is really funny because I remember going to Rossi as a kid. I would say it's comparable to Walmart, but maybe one step below. I feel so mean saying that, but a few years ago I found out that they have a really decent yarn section and their prices are really good. Like this whole skein, so 50 grams, and again it's 75% washable wool and 25% nylon, was $5.50. So that's not bad. It's not the best price I've ever heard of, but it's very affordable, you know? And this one is a sock yarn, and I was saving it to make socks with, but yeah, I think it would just be a really cute scrunchie, and I want to make a bunch of different stitch patterns with this yarn. Enjoying working on some scrunchies, and they knit up really quick, which is really, really nice. It's a fun project, but it's not long and tedious. You can see the progress adding up quickly, which is always a really great motivator. So that's everything that I wanted to say about the scrunchies. And now I have one more current work in progress to show you. This piece that I'm working on is one of my own patterns. I'm just doing a different variation of it. So this piece, I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it is the beginning of a Billie hat. The Billie hat is a crochet bucket hat pattern that I created myself. I do have it up on my Ravelry store as well as my Etsy shop. I will link it down below, and I'll put a photo here so you can see the original one. I originally made them out of 100% cotton yarns, specifically Bernat Handicrafter cotton. And right now I'm just having fun using different fibers. This one right here is actually the same as that scrunchie that I just showed, and a couple of other just scrap yarn that I have in similar colors. I'm going for a beige and white kind of hat. I do think that I'm going to have to add a few more rows for the body of the hat to accommodate for the thinner yarn, but I do think it's working up really, really nice, and I'm excited to continue it. So there's not a whole lot to say about this, just that I started another Billie hat and I'm having fun with it. And there we go. So that is everything that I wanted to talk about in the category of updates on current whips. Moving on, I now want to show you some finished objects that I have. Since we just finished with a Billie bucket hat, I did make another one last week. You may have seen it if you follow me on Instagram. It's a mohair Billie hat with a cute little addition to it. So here we go. It's 100% mohair. For this hat, I did have to make a few alterations to accommodate for the thinner yarn because it was just one strand of mohair the entire time with a 5mm hook. And I did add quite a few more rounds for the body, as well as more rounds for the brim of the hat. And as you can see, I added some cute little horns. Yeah, I'm 100% obsessed. I think it is adorable. If I can get a try-on, I will, and I'll show you. It's so cute. I had so much fun making this, and initially the plan wasn't to add horns. I just did that on a whim at the end. I was actually thinking partway through that I wanted to maybe add cat ears. Once I finished making the little cat ears, or at least my first attempt at making the cat ears, I was like, you know what? No, I want little devil horns. So that's what I did. And I think it turned out so cute. Oh, it's so good. Just so good. For this piece, it is going to become part of my inventory, so I would love to bring it to a market, and I'm considering putting it on my Etsy shop. Please leave a comment down below. I would love to know what you think of it. Do you think I should make more like this one? What other additions do you think I should add to other ones? Like, should I continue with the horns? Should I do ears? What do you think would look cute with this crochet hat pattern? All right, so the next piece I want to show you is the scrap yarn t-shirt that I made. I think it is so cute. I love how it turned out. As you can see, it is quite long and billowy, which I love. And these sleeves are just huge. They are magnificent. And I did my absolute best to hide all of the ends that I could. So I am just thrilled with how this turned out. I can't wait to start wearing it. It's really flowy and it's really comfortable. I think it is gonna look so cute this summer. I can just kind of envision it, which actually brings us to the last finished object. They are my secret shorts. Here they are. So I know they look huge, and they kind of are. Both of the legs are quite large, but that's what I wanted. I wanted it to almost resemble like a skirt, like I'm wearing a skirt, but instead they're actually shorts. I have not blocked them yet, but I'm thinking I'll try to get a before and after try-on of these shorts. So before blocking and then after blocking, just to see, like, does it make a huge difference? How does this yarn react? That kind of thing. And at the bottom here, before ending the shorts, I did a 1x1 rib knit, and then I did 3 rounds of just the knit stitch and cast it off. And that's why it's curling a little bit. So adorable. So I do have an elastic in here as well, but they are still a little bit big around the waist. So I am thinking of making a little like string kind of cord situation and weaving that through it, because I tend to fluctuate in my weight. And so if I can have a piece that I won't have to stop wearing or like put aside or sell because I'm bummed out because I'm too big for it, it would make me really happy to have a piece that just kind of stays right there with me no matter my weight. So yeah, I think that that is what I am going to end up doing. And yeah, Let me know what you think of the shorts, of how they came out. Have you ever knitted shorts before? If you have, are they similar to this? Are they more flowy? What yarn did you use? You know, like, just let me know. I want to know all about them because I'm kind of like obsessed now with shorts. So that actually leads us into the last topic of this video, which is just future plans. So on the topic of shorts, I 100% want to make more, and I want to use different yarns. I want to go for cotton. I want to go for, yeah, mainly just cotton. I'll be able to wear it more throughout the summer because the summers do get very, very hot here. And I know that I won't be able to wear these shorts all summer long because they will end up getting too hot, even though they are large and flowy and breathable and all of that. I know I'm gonna have to put them aside at some point. So I think having some cotton shorts would be awesome. So that's one plan. But then I also have another plan regarding the shorts that I just showed you. In the exact same yarn, I want to make a matching t-shirt. I just imagine this really cute set of like a nice little crop top with the same kind of detail at the bottom with the 1x1 rib and knit stitch. And having that at the waist, having that at the ends of the sleeves. I think that that would just be adorable, possibly even for the neckline, or just having the neckline be very simple, kind of like this, you know, like no curling or anything, just very basic neckline. We'll see. I definitely don't want it to go too high up. I don't want it to be like crew neck or anything like that. A very rounded lower neckline. Yeah, but nothing super low, just similar to this, just not all the way up to the neck. I think I'm going to try to cast that on soon because I don't think it would take me too long. Like, I know exactly what I want to do, but if I come up with any changes or if I want to alter it in any way, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. I also really want to cast on the larger 3x3 rib knit t-shirt, so like the brown one that I'm making, but no drop stitches, and just make it a larger size just to have it be more flowy, more likely for me to actually wear it this summer. I also feel like if it's a bit larger, I'll be able to wear it longer throughout the season because there will be some airflow, and you know, it shouldn't be as hot as if it was like, you know, stuck to me. Then I feel like I would sweat a lot, but if it's a bit looser, it would just be more comfortable. So I want to make that, and I want to continue with making new scrunchie patterns. We'll see what I come up with. And the last idea that I'm kind of toying with, and I want to see, I'm not 100% sure how I would go about it just yet, but I want to make a version of the Billie hat, but for cats. So I don't mean adding cat ears to it. I mean adding like little cutouts and having them be for cats. So like putting them on your cat. And that way I can make the pattern for it. And then if you want to make a Billie hat for yourself and have your cat match you, then you can. I think that would just be adorable and just darling. So a Billie hat for your cat. And that way you can both be all matchy-matchy. You can use the same yarn. You can, I don't know, like do opposite colors or something. I think it would just be adorable. And I mean, if my cat would let me, I would make her a hat like this. So I feel like if I feel that way, there must be so many other people who feel that way. So I want to make that pattern and possibly, you know, while testing it myself, make a bunch of the hats and sell them online. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm just toying with the idea for now, but if the idea develops into something more, I will let you know. All right, so we have come to the end of today's video. I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, then why not give it a like? Also, make sure that you subscribe. I would love to have you here. Anything that I mentioned today that has a link to it, as well as my Ravelry shop, my Etsy shop, and all of my social media is down in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!